Although it was a decent performance this past weekend, Shauna, it was another defeat against Cardiff City, which again must have been frustrating to take.
Yeah, I think we performed well in the first half. I think in terms of individual performances, Kenzie's penalty save was outstanding, and for someone that's been out for so long to come back in and have such an impact on the game like she did was really pleasing, and it's a credit to her and the hard work that she's put in to get back. So I'm glad she was able to get recognition for that. I think there were other players that were certainly being front-footed, trying to be bold and aggressive in things like they did. But ultimately, we went in at half-time 0-0. We weren't able to convert our chances, and unfortunately, it seems to be just a common theme for us at the moment. And whilst we were happy that we hadn't conceded, we kept that clean sheet. We were still frustrated that we hadn't been able to convert, but the way that Cardiff came out in the second half was just a different level, and I do think it goes to show why they are now the champions. And they're back to back 3 years in a row. They know what it takes, and unfortunately for us, they just had that extra gear that we didn't have on Sunday, and I think they were worthy winners in the end.
Yeah, you've alluded to it there. Cardiff City did secure the league title with their win on Sunday, and after being involved in the title race this season, do you think the celebrations after the game can provide some inspiration for your side next season to want to be in that position themselves?
Yeah, you would hope so. Ultimately, over the last few weeks, we've had the challenge and the task to try and delay that as much as possible. I think Cardiff's momentum and the way that they've been able to regroup, especially, and be more consistent in this second half of the season, has gone on to show why they are now the champions. But our target was to disrupt it for as long as possible, and again, we were unable to do that. Whilst we have been performing strong over the last few weeks, we weren't getting the 3 points, and ultimately you're gifting the team at the top of the table with those points. So no doubt the celebrations that we witnessed and saw will fuel us. But at the same time, we've got to focus on ourselves, and our season isn't over yet, and we've got a big 2 weeks to go to make sure we can cement the highest position that we've ever had at TNS.
Well, it's another trip to South Wales this weekend. We take on Briton, Ferry, Llansawel, and that's a good chance to put in a strong performance and get back to winning ways.
Yeah, it is, and every time we play against Briton Ferry, it's tough, but I do think we've always had a good account of ourselves, both in possession and out, but we know what's riding on it for us, and it's that third position, and that's something that we're really targeting and we want to try and achieve because it hasn't been done before here. Obviously, Briton Ferry have already secured second place now, so that's a huge credit to them and the way that they've had their first season back in the Adran Prem, and I do think they do deserve to be in that second place spot, and to have cemented it with games to go, it's a massive credit to them. But we know the challenge that you face when you play Briton Ferry, and you times that by 10 because it's at their home ground. So we know it's going to be tough, but in terms of pressure for us, we know what we need to do to perform, and we know what we need to do to get 3 points, and no doubt the girls will do that on Sunday.
We've had some really close games against Briton Ferry this season. 1 win, 1 defeat and 3 draws, but it was they who won the last game. So do you think that will give them any sort of edge into this rematch?
You've got to take every game as it comes, and obviously we've beat them before they've beat us, and every time we play them, it's always close. So it's a roll of the dice, really. But I do pride myself and ourselves that we are a good footballing team, and hopefully if we go about our game plan the right way and we execute it, then we will come away with 3 points. But we know that's always difficult when you play against Briton Ferry because they're very good at what they do in terms of disrupting momentum and being able to quickly counter-attack and put you on the back foot. So we're aware of that. We've played them more than enough times now, and no doubt the best team will win on Sunday.
Well, despite the recent results and defeats, it has been a memorable campaign, and you've alluded to it earlier, there's still the potential to secure our highest ever Genera Adran Premier finish if we do win these final 2 matches.
Yeah, and that's our target. That's been our target since we achieved all of our seasonal targets before phase one even ended. So we had to regroup as a team. Don't get me wrong, the last few weeks have been difficult in terms of results, but performances have been there. So there are still positives, and it's reminding everyone of that we have done really well this season, and we know what it's like to win. We know what it's like to dominate. We just need to find that groove again, and no doubt we will. And for us, that needs to start on Sunday. So there is a little bit of pressure around the next game, and especially the next two. But for us, it's an exciting opportunity to go on and achieve something more than what we already have. And whilst we're over the moon that we've already had hands on silverware, I'm not the only person that agrees. Every single person in that changing room wants more, and we want to make sure that we finish as high as we can in the league as well.
Mackenzie Haynes-Jones was back in the starting lineup last weekend. You've already touched on her penalty save, but after a strong performance, she was named in the Junior Radwan League's Team of the Week this week. So I'm sure that would be a big boost for her, and it's been great to see a lot of TNS players in that team this season.
Yeah, Ken's was outstanding, and she has been since she's been injured, to be honest. She's been more than committed. She's travelled with the team all up and down the country, and for someone that isn't able to play, that's a really tough position to be in, you know. Yaz Evans is in a similar position, and I think it goes to show the character and the environment that we've created here at TNS, that they want to buy into it, whether they're in the starting 11 or not, and it's a credit to those types of players. But yeah, I'm glad that she was able to cement herself into Team of the Week too. She did put on a bold performance, and whilst, yes, we did concede goals, and she was disappointed in that, the way that she's been able to reflect and bounce back since then shows the calibre of player that she is. And for us, we've got 2 weeks left, and we want to get 6 points. We want to finish third, but ultimately we want players to have their individual goals as well, of dominating their own performances, scoring goals, putting on a show both home and away. And no doubt if they continue to do that, then they'll make Team of the Week as well, and we can finish the season on a high.